Hey everybody, my name is Scott Colby. Welcome to the Grateful Entrepreneur, an online summit all about growing your business with gratitude. During the summit, I'll be interviewing entrepreneurs and leaders about the power of gratitude, appreciation, giving, and customer experience to help grow your business. Today, my special guest is Stephen Littlefield. Now, Stephen is the author of The Business of Gratitude. It's a guide to building deeper relationships with your clients, coworkers, and friends. He has been a mortgage loan originator since 1986, using the system he outlines in The Business of Gratitude. Has personally funded over $1 billion in home loans. He was the co-founder of Signature Funding, where they implemented the Business of Gratitude system and grew to over 150 employees, funding over $800 million a year. He's here today to share some ideas how you can implement the Business of Gratitude system into your daily business. Stephen, welcome. How are you today?
I am doing great. Thanks for the invitation, Scott. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and thank you for accepting my invitation. And you know, as we talk about the topic of growing your business with gratitude, who better to have on this summit than the author of The Business of Gratitude? I loved your book. I just finished it for the second time to refresh my memory for this interview. It is an easy read. It's compelling. It's well written. So thank you for the work you're doing. So Stephen, let's just jump right in. When did you start using thank you cards, and why are they such a powerful force in your business?
When I finished school, I had to find a new career. And I went into mortgage banking. And mortgage banking was very tough because most of the real estate agents either already had their relationships, excuse me, and everybody had closed door policies, and I was trying to figure out how could I get past the gatekeeper. And I went and saw Tom Hopkins, and in the back of his book, he had some little phraseologies for writing thank you notes. Well, fresh out of college, straight commission job, I didn't have a lot of money, but my company that I worked for, they had thank you notes, and they had envelopes, and they promised to pay the postage for me. I said, you know what? I can send a thank you note. I'll give it a shot. And that's how I started. Now, the amazing thing about it is I got instant results. Within a week of going to a seminar, meeting a bunch of real estate agents, I sent out 20 or 25 thank you cards. And as you guys know, back in 1986, we didn't have Google, we didn't have Bing, we didn't have Yahoo, we didn't have email, cell phones, smartphones. What we did have was a phone, and people got the thank you notes, and they called me up and said, hey, I want to meet with you. And that was the beginning. That was the seed, the pebble in the middle of the pond. And now 34 years later, it is still a cornerstone of my business.
I love that. It's almost like we're going back old school, right? We're going back to something that you used many, many years ago, and things that still apply today. You can still write thank you cards. You can still pick up the phone. It's a bit of a lost art. I'm glad people like you are bringing it back to the forefront, because I really think when we talk about growing a business, it's about relationships. And what better way to do that than something like using handwritten thank you notes? And then, Stephen, what led you to actually writing the book, The Business of Gratitude?
I went to the hospital they removed a cancerous tumor. And while I was laying in bed recovering from the surgeries, there was 4 surgeries, 7 hospital stays. I said, you know what can I do? And during that time, I just started thinking about what were the tools that got me to where I was. And I am, in my company, I'm known as the Thank You Note King, because I write thank you notes to every person I can think of. And what compelled me is that the scientific research that supports it now is by you actually writing a thank you note is selfish, because it sends off endorphins in your mind and your body and gives you a good feeling. Well, then what that does is it shifts the energy around you so that you now start attracting more of what you want instead of more of what you don't want. When people start writing about complaints, they're going to get more of what they're asking for. When you start writing about gratitude and you start thanking somebody for doing a good job, thanking my doc drawer for getting my docs out on time, thank you for my funder for getting my loan funded on time, thank you my underwriter for getting the loan approved on time. Simple things like that, all of a sudden implement and impact, when implemented, impact how they see your file as it goes through. You know, everybody wants to use, say we're in the technology world and everything's changing. Well, the technology is getting faster. It still has to be implemented by people. And in the foundational principles of all business, we are in the people business. You're in the people business, you help fitness. I'm in the people business, I help people get home loans. I'm in the people business now with the business of gratitude, helping people understand that if they can take 3 minutes a day and just send one card, it's going to impact their life and those around them.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. And I've kind of found the same thing. Like I was thinking at the end of last year, as I was kind of going through how my 2017 was, I got more cards in the mail than I've ever gotten before. And it's because I sent more cards. And it's like, that's no accident. People are writing me cards left and right now, things that I'm getting things in the mail that are unexpected. It's because I'm putting that out there. And it's really, it really makes me feel good to receive cards. So I know I'm making other people feel good. Stephen, as we were kind of thinking about, all right, what topic should we talk about for this conversation here today? And I was going through your book again. I noticed that you kind of, it was so easy to read, and you kind of break things down into a 5-step process of sending out thank you cards. I'm like, this is perfect. Let's just go down each one and talk a few minutes about it, because it's going to make for a great discussion here. And I'm super happy that you included as your first step of the process, forging a gratitude mindset, because there's not that many books on gratitude in business, but I don't think any of them really cover the mindset part of things. So what do you mean by forging a gratitude mindset?
Well, first is that you have to understand that what you focus on expands. And the gratitude mindset is starting with being present and focusing on what is available to you today to be grateful for. If you're listening to this, my guess is that you're still breathing. People forget that breathing is a very important thing to be grateful for. I had an oxygen tube in the hospital, and I recognized that breathing is very important. Eyesight's very important. Being able to smile is important. Being able to not live in a hospital the night before. You know, there's so many things that are to be grateful for, is we have to focus on that. And you can get granular, because the smaller the item is that you appreciate, every one of those will grow and grow and grow. And so the gratitude mindset is focusing on everything that you can be grateful for. And hey, I can send them a thank you note. Hey, I can congratulate them on their success. And those are much better things to be looking for than what's wrong with the world, what's wrong with society, what's wrong with government. Because our job is to be happy. And the way you can be happy is to spread happiness. And every time you write a thank you note, you will be happy, because you can't be angry writing a thank you note. And so that's the attitude mindset, is to focus on Who can I thank today?
Mm. Yeah, I love it. And like you said, when we're writing notes, we're going to be happy. We're going to make the recipient happy. And there's enough complaining in the world. You don't need to add to it. So
Exactly.
I love that we're starting with the gratitude mindset. Second step of the process, this is one that can really derail people. It could derail me because I'm not the most organized person in the world, but is get organized. Give us some tips on how to stay organized when it comes to sending out thank you cards. And we want to do it on a regular basis, not just every once in a while.
So with a thank you card, you effectively need 4 things. 5 if you go to the end. You need an envelope, you need a thank you card, and you need a pen. Those are the 3 things that you absolutely need. Mm-hmm. Then you need a stamp to mail it. The 5th thing that you need is your business card if you want to include it. Okay. And so that's why I have that as a bonus. If you're sending thank you cards, it's about thanking those people. And if they know you, they're going to have a way to get a hold of you. And a couple different things that you can do is on the back of your thank you card, your note, you can put your contact information so that it's not a thank you card with a business solicitation. Mm. Now, you're developing your relationship, so your whole goal is to actually ask for the business eventually. And relationships develop trust, and trust is built over time. So this is a way to say thank you in an honorable way and an appreciative way. So to get organized, have a stack of envelopes near you. I carry some in my backpack with me at all times. Have some thank you note cards. Have some stamps, and have a pen. If you have those 4 things, you can effectively send out thank you notes from wherever you are, whenever you find somebody to say thank you to.
I love that. It's all about preparation. And me coming from the fitness industry, we talk about planning our meals ahead of time. If you don't have the right ingredients or the right foods, you're gonna liable to maybe grab something that's unhealthy on the way home or whatever the case may be. Same thing with any type of habit that you want to establish, such as writing thank you cards. Get organized, have the materials laid out and in front of you where you can see them every day, and they're not behind in a cabinet or in a drawer where you're going to forget about it. Okay, the third step of the process, write to connect. So, I'm guessing there's a right way to write the note and a wrong way to do it. So talk a little bit about what it means to write to connect.
Well, when you're writing to connect, have you ever been at an event and you meet somebody, you guys hit it off? All of a sudden it's like you guys could be brothers from different mothers, or a sister from a different mother. You just meet people that you instantly get along with, and you go, hey, we got to get in touch, and it slips away.
Yes.
Now, what happens is that developing this habit, when you write to connect, when you meet somebody for the first time, and you're in an event, and they've met 45 other people, how do you remind them who you are and where you met them? And that's what writing to connect is. Dear Scott, thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you at the Padre game. Oh, no, it would have been the Rockies game for you. I think the Padres are in town right now.
Oh, nice.
So, but dear Scott, thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you at the Rockies game. Now, I really appreciate it. And just put in one thing that you talked about. I appreciated you sharing your ideas on fitness with me. I would really like to follow up and continue that conversation. Feel free to give me a call or email me when we can connect. So it's a very simple way to remind them how you met, remind them of the conversation that you had, and in a non-threatening way, it opens the door for them to reach back out to you if they've lost your business card or they don't have the business of gratitude system in place where they would have already sent you a thank you note or a email. Now, I can't say everybody. I can say most people, when they get the thank you card, either send an email, send a text, or they will send an invitation to Facebook, or they'll send an invitation to LinkedIn. That's what I've realized in the last 3 or 4 years. That, I used to get the phone call. Now I get the LinkedIn opportunity, or the Facebook LinkedIn, Facebook friends connection. And so they will reach out to you one way or another. They're going to use whatever their system is to acknowledge the receipt of your thank you note. Now, if they don't, this gives you the next step, which is the follow-up, is making the phone call 5 to 7 days later and asking them, hey, did you get my note? Can we follow up with that conversation?
And that's going to really help you stand out. I mean, who's doing this? Nobody, unless they're following your system already. There's not really, you go to a networking event. I don't think I've ever gotten a card following a networking event. So if you start to do this, you're really going to stand out.
It's amazing. So I was in Montreal for 4 days. I met probably 18 people that I want to connect with. And that's one of the things you have to kind of build a filter system, because this system is so powerful that when you send a note to somebody, they're going to want to do business with you. And if they don't fit what my friend Michael Port in the Book Yourself Solid system calls the red velvet row policy, you're going to end up with time wasters. Because there's a lot of people that are professional networkers but don't refer business or don't do business with you. So have a system to say, hey, is this someone I want to do business with, or is this someone that I don't? And use your time sparingly and your energy sparingly. If they did something nice for you, then definitely send a note. If you want to build your business, be conscientious of who you're building your business with.
Tell your story real quickly about how you met and became friends with the lead singer of Loverboy. I forgot his name.
Mike Reno.
Yeah.
Mike Reno, the lead singer of Loverboy. So this is a perfect example of preparation. So before I go on any trip, any event, I always block time the day after the event where if I know, depending on how many, I block an hour to an hour and a half to get all my thank you notes out and send all my emails and get caught up. So I'm at a golf tournament with Mike Reno, and he's our celebrity, and he plays golf with us. And we keep in touch, and we see each other around the event because they had things going on in the evenings, and we started talking, and we started laughing, and we just became friends. There was one of those instant connections. And I said, do you mind if I keep in touch with you? He says, no, not at all. And then he gave me his phone number and his mailing address. And because I had asked, I said, do I need to go through your publicist or whatever? He goes, oh, no, here's my personal mailing address. So I got home, and along with everybody else I met, I sent him off a thank you note. Said, hey, Mike, it was great playing golf with you. Appreciated you being the entertainment. Loved the jokes and the stories. Look forward to golfing with you again. He gets the card. He texts me that day. He says, listen, he goes, I'm going to be in California. It was like a month later. He goes, do you want to come up to Banning? I said, sure. So Banning's about a 2-hour drive from where I live. I went up there, and he goes, hey, can you come a day early so we can golf? So we started golfing. We golfed that day. We went to his concert, met the rest of his bandmates, met his friends. And since then, we've just maintained a friendship. Whenever he's in California, we go play golf. If he goes to Atlanta or he goes to areas that are fun, I'll go and meet him. And so over time, we've just grown our relationship, all because I followed up and then followed through. And then I asked him, I said, hey, would you be interested in writing the forward to my book? He goes, absolutely.
That's awesome. Cool. Power of a thank you note.
It is.
Yeah. Stephen, okay, we got 2 more steps of the process. Step 4, send cards.
All right.
Sending cards for all occasion is step 4 of the process. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, you can always thank somebody for meeting them, thanking them for doing a good job. Now, you can also send a card just to congratulate somebody on a special event. an anniversary, a promotion, something like that. Also, you can send thank you cards or a note card for sympathy. You know, if somebody loses a loved one, or they're in the hospital recovering from a injury or from surgery, a note the business of gratitude is being grateful for people. And when you can connect with people, explaining to them, hey, I understand you're going through a tough time. I just want you to know that you're in my thoughts, my heart, and my prayers. I just want you to know that I'm aware that you're having a tough time if you need someone to reach out to. Now, one of the most powerful notes that I ever written was the regret. In the mortgage business, not everybody's approved for their loan. And even when you approve somebody for a loan, they would sometimes go and get their loan somewhere else. And that hurt my feelings. And so I designed a note that said, thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with you. I regret that I wasn't able to serve your needs at this time. In today's business world, things change. So if anything changes in your world, feel free to contact me. So, now, writing that note kept the door open, and that got me probably more business because people would send me referrals. They would come back to me when their credit got fixed or their job got stable. So use a note even to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't able to accomplish your goals at this time, because it leaves the door open and it allows you to be grateful that you at least had the opportunity to work with them. So those are just a few, and if you start thinking about it, you're going to find many, 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 many more reasons to send a note, to just let people know that you appreciate them. And that's what gratitude is about, letting people know that you appreciate them.
Yeah, I love that regret note. Reading your book was the first time I heard that. And I just want to point out to our viewers here, The Business of Gratitude, get the book, because you have so many templates out there that we can start to model after of the types of notes that we're talking about here. So grab the book, get all those templates. And I want to go through the final process as we begin to wrap up, Stephen. Magnetizing referrals. So how can we use these notes to increase the amount of business we get in the form of referrals?
The number one way to keep people's mind on you is to thank them for the referral. And you want to thank them for the referral, whether it works out or doesn't work out. See, a lot of times in the mortgage business, people want to thank you for the referral after the escrow closes or after the loan closes. That's how you magnetize business. You immediately reward them for the invitation, for the referral. The casino uses the program on slot machines where they give you like this little, if you hit cherries, a couple quarters come out. And it's called the random success or random reinforcement. And that's what it causes people to be addicted to gambling. So when you reinforce people's behavior, they will continue that behavior. And every time they send me a name or a phone number, a name and a phone number, I send them a thank you note to reinforce that behavior. Thank you for your kind referral of Scott Colby. I will look forward to taking great care of his financing options. And I will follow up with you as we progress. Now they know that you got the referral. They get to feel good that they gave you a referral, and they want that feeling again, so they're going to want to send you more referrals. So if you only use these notes for one thing, send thank you notes to everybody that gives you a referral, and you will magnetize and multiply your business.
Love that. Such an easy thing to do. Not many people are doing it, but now we know and have the tools and the process to get our notes out there. Stephen, this has been awesome. Before we say goodbye, can you tell us where we can get your book, any websites or social media profiles that we can connect with you and learn more?
Okay, so I do have a website. It's www.StephenALittlefield, and that's STEVEN, middle initial A, LITTLEFIELD.com. The book is available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. It's both in Kindle and hardback.
Awesome. I love it. The Business of Gratitude. Such an easy read. Go out and get it. Stephen, just wanted to, first of all, acknowledge you for the work that you're doing in this field and to thank you for being willing to do this interview. You know, I contacted you and you didn't know who I was. I had read your book and I wanted to interview you, and just you could have said no, but you opened up your heart and your schedule to do this and share this knowledge with my audience. So thank you so much for doing the work that you're doing and being willing to get on this call with me. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you, and you keep doing the great work you're doing, because you're helping facilitate people to get those notes out. And with your pencils of promise, it's a great cause. And you know what? It's about connecting with people. And so thank you for reaching out, and I look forward to working with you some more.
Absolutely. Me as well. Everybody watching, thank you for being here to listen and watch my interview with Stephen Littlefield. Go out and check out the book, The Business of Gratitude. That wraps up today's interview. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.